Om Purnamada Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. One goal, two lifestyles. That is the theme. The goal is one, the lifestyle differs. The difference of lifestyle is because of the difference of the individual nature. Two individual natures. One is active, another is contemplative. Both are opposite to each other. An active person cannot sit, a contemplative person cannot move. So you can't give the same path to both. Again I repeat, an active person cannot sit. So restless it will be. A contemplative person cannot move, because that is that person's nature. Therefore, how to give a path to the active person? Give them a different path. How to give a path to the contemplative? Give them a different path. If both these natures are not there, then that person will not be a human being. Human beings means there are these two natures. There is no third possibility. Okay, correct இருக்குதா? மைக்கு தான் நான் கிட்ட வச்சுக்கணுமா? வந்து வச்சிருப்பா நீ எங்க அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ண, அது வந்து என்ன அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு ஓகேவா? சரியா? சரியா? இப்போ சரி, நீ அங்க சரியா பண்ணாது, நேரம் என்கிட்ட வந்துடு. உங்களை சரி பண்ணுங்க சார்னு சொல்லு, எல்லாம் சரியாயிடும். ஓகே, it moves, it will move. So there are these two paths, active and contemplative. Predominantly speaking, active, you bring in active person, that person will say, what are you talking for 5 days? Nothing is, talk and talk and talk, nothing happens out of this talk. That is the active person's view. A contemplative person will come and say, what are you running around? What did you achieve? Both will never meet. Therefore, combining these two and all doesn't work. Therefore, the Upanishad says, if you are of this, take to this path. If you are of this, take to this path. So, first determine your personality, active or contemplative. For an active lifestyle, a path is recommended. Contemplation is what that person does. I am contemplating, I and mine. Get rid of that. That path is given for the contemplative. The actor does action. He keeps doing. So the path that is easy for the active is through action. So through action, what is the most predominant thing behind action? Doership. So he says, drop the doership. That's how the connection is. So one lifestyle and another lifestyle. Then whatever we have to see, we saw this morning. There are some clarifications was there which I didn't. I said we'll take it up in the evening. If those clarifications are still there, we will take it up. If it is resolved, we will move to the next. Yes.
Sir,
Yes, you need. I can't hear.
Sir, when the path 2, mantra 2, has method of dropping doership.
Yes, keep it like this. It will be, keep it
closer?
Yeah, then it will work.
Okay. When path 2, mantra 2 has a method of first dropping doership and then it leads to dropping of I and mind. Now you were also talking about...
Wait. Okay. It said drop doership. And then it will drop I and mind. Did I say that?
No, you didn't say then. You said in the process, it's two sides of the same coin.
Yes.
So as I drop the doership, there is also this process that is happening.
Correct.
Right? This is my understanding.
Yes.
Now, some people may be, as you also explained now, some people may be outward looking, active, so they have to start from karma through the decreasing doership. They will evolve and reach a point. Again, there are some people who are contemplative who will start directly from dropping of I and mind. They have understood action in its right essence. So, does that mean in actually there is only one path that goes from doing the action and then they turn contemplative? It's just that these two people are at 2 points in the same path. There is one path and the behaviors are putting them in different starting points.
Yes.
If that is the case, then having two mantras, M1 and M2, is it because of a pure pedagogical need that the audience mix could have some people who are already evolved and we want to deal with them and send them off so we can start talking to the majority? Is that the only reason why there is M1 and M2? Or is it really different path? It looks like M1 starts in M2 after I become an actor. I am contemplative. So what I have to do is essentially what M1 is saying. So it looks like a subset.
Yes.
So M1 seems to be contained in M2. So the reason for having two separate mantras, is it a pure pedagogical need or is this something else, people?
Pedagogical means what?
For the teacher to send off the people who are already evolved and can focus.
Because big words and all I don't understand. Pedagogical. So, what is the final question?
Why do we have two mantras?
Why do we have two mantras?
If M1 is a subset of M2, why do we have two mantras?
Okay, that's all the questions.
Oh, sir, I got the question now.
Yes. That's all. Why there are two? Why there are two mantras? Because there are different students. Because there are different students, everybody has to be addressed. When everybody has to be addressed, it has to address at their level. So you have to have different mantras. What is the difficulty in that? Contemplative lifestyle is not a recommended lifestyle. A person naturally will be living that. A contemplative lifestyle is a lifestyle which is, we are not saying it's a different quality. That person by nature will have that lifestyle. What is contemplative lifestyle? We have been discussing it. What does that lifestyle means? What does that lifestyle means? A person who says, I don't have obligations. Contemplative lifestyle. What is a contemplative lifestyle? A person says, I have no obligations. If you can say, I have no obligations, you belong to the contemplative lifestyles. If you say, I have obligations, you belong to the active lifestyle. Are you able to understand the difference? One person says, I have obligations. Another person says, I have no obligations. So what is the difference between the contemplative and active? Do you have duties to perform? Do you have obligations to perform? If you say yes, then one lifestyle. Contemplative person says, I have no duties. I have no obligations. So a person who says, I have no duties and obligations, will look like a better person from the angle of duties and obligations. So when you look at that person through this prism, through this glass, that person will look better. Are you able to follow? But again, the Upanishad tells that person also. What do you mean you say you have no obligations? What do you mean you say you have no obligations? You can be an event manager in an ashram. You can be an event manager outside. What difference does it make? You can sit and do accounting wearing ochre robes. You can sit and do accounting three-piece suit. What difference does it make there? Are you able to follow? So when you say I have no obligations, it asks you the question. Are you saying that I don't feel indebted at all? Then you say I don't have obligations. If you say I feel indebted, then you have obligations. That's all the differences. Are you able to follow? That's why sannyasa as a lifestyle is not at all advocated. Because out of 100 who takes it up, 99 will end up doing that which they are not supposed to do. Why? Because they think it's a specific lifestyle. If you take up, it becomes a sannyasa. Number two, all the gurus that you go to, you think guru means that person has to be a sannyasi. And that sannyasi always has to justify and claim that he has a superiority over you. And the only way that he can claim superiority over you is how? By saying, all that you guys are attached to, I am not attached. What does Upanishad tell that person? What does Upanishad tell that person? Better go back to action, otherwise you will be stuck in this blinding darkness that you are stuck in. Are you able to follow? So that lifestyle, when we say that lifestyle itself is not the a possible lifestyle, not for the vast majority. And human beings are not designed like that naturally. A few are designed to be alone. 99% of the human beings are not designed to be alone. When you are not designed to be alone, live that lifestyle. What is the problem? Live that lifestyle. Are you able to follow? So there is no one leading to the other. This is one, that is another. Depending on your nature, choose. When can you say I have no obligations? When your intake is so less. A contemplative lifestyle means intake is almost nothing. That is a contemplative lifestyle. Intake is nothing. When I am planning for the next 30 years intake, what contemplative lifestyle? I have to go back to active lifestyle, which is not an inferior lifestyle. What is wrong in that? It's not an inferior. So what is a contemplative lifestyle? A person says, I don't. Where the taking is very, very, very less. That's why the discipline of a sannyasa lifestyle is what? Whatever the fruit falls from the tree, you eat that and live. Then you are fit for contemplative lifestyle. If you are asking what is for breakfast, go back to active life. That's all the differences. That is why that lifestyle is not recommended. Second, contemplative lifestyle is Contemplative lifestyle is comfortable to one who can stretch his hands and ask for alms. Who can stretch out and say? Who can stretch out his hands and ask for alms? That person. And he asks for alms for what? He will only ask for food. He will not ask for. He will only ask for food. Why? Minimum food has to be taken so that you can be alive, so that you can contemplate, meditate, realize the self. Full stop. If you can live that, take to that lifestyle. Don't worry about this lifestyle. Now, where do you find people like that? Is it natural for anybody to be like that? It's a very unnatural way of living. Today, sannyasa is the most unnatural way of living. Grihastha is the most natural way. That is the Vedic vision. Today we are brainwashed by the sannyasis so much that we have actually started believing that's the better lifestyle, because they have to justify their lifestyle. No. When you people are all stuck in rituals, I am not stuck in rituals. When you people are all stuck in the world, I am not stuck with the world. So he is constantly comparing. That is not a contemplative lifestyle. Able to follow? We don't know what is contemplative lifestyle means. Upanishad knows it. Since Upanishad knows it, and it also understands it is not fit for 99%, it doesn't advocate that lifestyle. But there is a small minority also. So what do you do? First attend to them. First attend to them and send them away. Because they can go. They can go and do what they want to do. Now deal with the rest. And what is the rest? The Grihastha lifestyle. Are you okay till now? Meera. If there is only one path and calling it at two different stages, that is one interpretation. Again I repeat. Path is one, stages are different. Path is one, stages are different is one level of interpretation. The another level of interpretation is that is distinct, this is distinct, both leads to the same goal. If I say this is stage 1 and that is stage 2, what are we bringing in? That is advanced. So, a advanced spiritual seeker means how that advanced spiritual seeker should be? Sannyasi. Sannyasi means what? Leave everything, go, you will be sitting, not doing anything. Why? Because we are so conditioned to think like that. Isavasya says, no. This is one set, this is another set. And many have attained through this path. Many have attained through this path. And that's what I concluded in the morning. The whole culture, the entire lifestyle here is about the Grihastha lifestyle. When we say Grihastha lifestyle means a lifestyle where you do your duties, obligations. Why? Because you have already created it. Having created it, you have no choice. But it is better not to create it, no sir. When can we talk about it? Before, not now. Therefore it says, having created, forget that path. Don't even think about it. Because having created, if you start thinking about it, you are neither here nor there. Are you able to follow? Having created, don't even think about it. But it would be better if you don't have it. It would be better if you don't have it. This is called Rajasic renunciation. The 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he calls it as Rajasic renunciation. Because of the pain of doing the obligatory duties, you say it's better. Are you able to follow? Because of the pain of doing it, you are going to say it is better. But the reality is, it is not inferior. That is one of the biggest knowledges from the Upanishads that you get is, there is no superiority or inferiority. Otherwise, we always have this notion of superiority and inferiority. At one stage, you have duties and obligations. The difficulty in life is we know only to keep taking one after the other. We don't know if I take it at one point of time, I should drop it also. We don't understand that. We only know how to take. We don't know how to leave. Whether you are in the sannyasa lifestyle or grihastha lifestyle, something you are practicing in common. What is it? Dropping. So that way both are doing the same thing. Both are dropping something. Isn't it? Both of them are dropping only that they are dropping. What are they dropping? Something they are dropping. We know only to take, we don't know to let go. Isn't it? Hundred-year-old father will say, 70-year-old son doesn't know anything. 70-year-old son says, my 40-year-old son doesn't know anything. The 40-year-old son will say, my 20-year-old son doesn't know anything. Then who knows? In the case of other species, nature decides and they disconnect. In the case of human beings, we have to disconnect. Because we have to disconnect, we don't disconnect. We keep on, we just hold on to. So, the theme here is what? You need to let go. You need to let go. For this person, you let go of this. For that person, you let go of that. But both of them has to do one thing in common. What? Let go. Let go. If you look at the sannyasi, you will say, what a blessed life he has, look. What a blessed life he has. Because he need not go back on Sunday night itself. Even though retreat is closing only on Monday afternoon. Because I can't go back. Can't do this. I can't do that. Something is always pulling you. Something is always pulling you back. And you look at a sannyasi, you think he is. You look at the sannyasa person, you think that person is free, better off. Upanishad says, it is like the blind person describing an elephant. The blind person thinking that that person is free. For what is freedom? Upanishad says, I will tell you what freedom is. What is freedom? If you can let go of it, it is freedom. If you can let go of it, then you are free. Whichever lifestyle you are, letting go is not easy. Doesn't matter what lifestyle you have. Letting go is not easy. Okay. How to ensure that you can let go easily? How to ensure that? How to help you do that? One thing is to make statements. Let go, let go, let go. Another is how to help you let go. Wonderful lifestyle is a grihastha lifestyle of karma yoga and obligations and the panchamaha yajnas, etc. is such a beautiful methodology of maturing you that you won't even know that you are letting it go. It just drops off. Urvarugamiva bandhanat. You won't even know that you are dropping. It just drops off and you won't even know it's dropping. Green leaves, the tree is holding very hard. The dry leaves, it just flies. It falls away. Nothing happens to the... That is what that's what letting go happens. Now, how to help a person let go? From morning till evening, a lifestyle is given. A discipline is given. What we generally call as the Panchamaha Yajnas. The 5 great acts that every human being has to do every day. Deva, Rishi, Pitru, Manushya, Bhuta. These 5 things has to be recognized, revered and saying thank you. 5 things. What are the 5 things? Gods. Then comes the rishis, the sages. Then comes the past, the pitrus. Then comes the manushya, fellow beings. Then comes species, rest. To an extent where they say it is so ritualistic externally. From outside it is so ritualistic. But human beings are ritualistic by nature, know what to do. All of us have to keep doing the same thing again and again. That human nature is like that. You can't be a doctor one day, engineer one day, lawyer the other day. You can't do that. You do only one thing, isn't it? Oh, life is very mechanical, sir. Life is not mechanical. It is so wonderful. Repetition makes you to believe it is mechanical. So the variety is the problem. So what they do here, they develop a lifestyle where you keep doing the same thing again and again and again. By doing the same thing again and again and again, over a period of time, what happens? A certain discipline comes in. What is the discipline? First discipline. Senses don't go out a lot. Senses don't go out. Second is senses don't go out. Second is what this Upanishad is going to call later as Vijigupsa. Hatred goes out. 2 things goes out. Whether you are a grihastha or a sannyasi lifestyle you take, Upanishad is going to say there are only 3 indicators to know whether you are growing or not. If those 3 indicators are there, you are growing. If those 3 indicators aren't there, then you are in the wrong. Tatra ko mohaha ka shokaha, it's going to ask. Where is moha? Where is shoka? No vijigupsa. So what is the benefit of this knowledge? No vijigupsa, no moha, no shoka. If this lifestyle, if it is going to take you there, then it is a proper lifestyle. Are you able to follow? Opposite of that is a lifestyle. What is a lifestyle? Where I live life in the way that I want. When I suffer, I want freedom from the pain so that I can go back to indulgences again. That which is not mine, I start claiming it as mine. Taking the help of others, I don't even acknowledge that I am being helped. Hatred, all this gets, When all this goes away, by default, what you will be? Don't say I'll become a sannyasi. It means you still not understood the Upanishad. Don't say I'll become a sannyasi. What will happen? You will become more nididhyasana oriented, meditative. So through that path you come to meditation. Through this path you come to meditation, self-realization. This is the sequence. Through that path you come to meditation. Through this path you come to meditation. Finally, both reaches the same destination. This is not, today what has happened is, one lifestyle is so glorified, the other lifestyle is being taught as though it is inferior. Upanishad will not accept that. He's saying it very, very clearly. You wish to live 100 years for what? For performing actions. Na karma lipyate nare. Action will not stain. Action will not stain. Remember that one mantra. CC. Action do not stain. Action does not stain. Action does not stain. And we always believe action stains. Why action stains? Because I am the doer. The moment you say I am an actor, action stops staining you. So it is not freedom from action, it is freedom from doership in the action. Try and drop the doership, you know. It is impossible to drop. Try it out, then only you will know. It's impossible to drop it. Because the doership is the driving force behind action, isn't it? The sense of doership, you try and drop it, you cannot. But then the person believes that lifestyle is better. Actions do not stain a person. In these 5 days, if you have understood this, you know that liberation is possible for you also. Otherwise, you will always think what? It is exclusive only for a few privileged, and we are all doomed to disaster. Please understand, he is not giving emotional solace saying don't worry. It's not that. You take it or leave it. He said this is the fact. He's not giving you a solace, a comfort. Don't think that you are all lost. You are also taken care of. Upanishad doesn't speak that. Upanishad will not see that. They say this lifestyle also takes you to the same goal. Janakadayaha, he says in the Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter. Like Janaka and others, don't you know, Arjuna, how many people have reached through this? You will never find Krishna quoting us a aqua-robe sannyasi. You will find Krishna quoting a like Janaka and others. And who's a Janaka? Who's a Janaka? Maximum obligations he has. Maximum responsibilities he has. We are worried about responsibility of 2 human beings on this planet and we think like Atlas, isn't it? Just to 2 human beings, that's all. And we feel it's an Atlas on the shoulders. No time for anything else. Why? Because that 2 occupies you full time, isn't it? Yeah, the 2 occupies you. How can he running the whole thing and still attain to that? How did he do that? By following this lifestyle. Are able to follow? How did he achieve to that level? Unfortunately, we stopped praising them. We started praising the minority and we stopped looking at them. Since we started praising them, we naturally started looking up to them as only that is the advanced stage, and that alone takes you. advanced stage, contemplation means nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is where thoughts do not arise on its own and go all over. Thoughts are arising and you are trying to control. Now go back to the Karma Yoga lifestyle. It's not that thoughts are coming and you are witnessing it. All drama people do thinking that they are. You follow? It's all drama that is happening. That is no way near to contemplation. What is contemplation? No thoughts naturally go towards the world. When will thoughts stop going? You say thank you, thought stops. Try it out. You say thank you, immediately thought flow stops. What is a contemplative lifestyle now? That's all. You have said thank you so much in your life that thoughts have simply quietened down. You have said thank you so much. Now we complain so much that thanks we say very rarely, and even our thank is more like a formality thanks, isn't it? No. By doing this Panchamaha Yajnas and all that, you have said thank you. So many times you have said thank you. And every time you say thank you, thoughts stop. And you have developed a lifestyle of saying thank you. What happens? You are in an undisturbed state, irrespective of what is happening around you. That is Nididhyasana stage. That is a state of Nididhyasana which both are aspiring to get. Sannyasi is also aspiring to get to Nididhyasana. A Grihastha is also aspiring to get there. Both are trying to get to the same. This is mantra 2. This is mantra 2. Any other questions on mantra 2? Yes.
I have 3 questions. So first question, by giving up I and mine in mantra 1. First question, by giving up I and mine in mantra 1, everything is seen as mine. By giving up doership in mantra 2, what happens?
Yes. In mantra 1, you say everything is mine is a figurative way. When I say everything is mine, everything is not. When I say everything is mine, everything is not Ranjini's. Then whose it is? When you say everything is mine, everything is not Rajkumar's. If Rajkumar says everything is mine, it is not. How can everything become Ranjini's? Then how can everything become Rajkumar's? Then what does mine here mean? What does mine here means? I have so many to. I can accommodate many and I can accommodate much more. I can accommodate many and I can accommodate much more. Expansion. When I say everything is mine, those objects and beings don't become mine. What is mine here? It is expansion. You have expanded so much, you don't feel the distinction at all. You have expanded so much that you don't feel any distinction. Opposite of that is there is distinctions. Wherever I go, there is a distinction. To understand this, how many can take anything gracefully? Can you take anything? Or you are comfortable giving? You can't take. But giving you will feel like, why? Because there's an ego there. When you are taking, you feel very, oh no. How can I take. I should be only giving. Are you able to follow how complicated it gets? Ego says, I cannot take. That's why in the brahmacharya lifestyle and the sannyasa lifestyle, they train you to, they say, stretch your hands and go and ask. Stretch your hands and ask. But sir, we are supposed to only give, no? So when you say everything is mine, your identification is so much that there is no otherness. There is no otherness there. You can be comfortable wherever you are. Opposite of saying, my comfort lies only in one or two. Isn't it? My comfort lies here only. Isn't it? You are able to follow? So everything is mine doesn't mean everything is Ranjini's. The otherness isn't there. The otherness isn't there. So, he gives example, no? When the neighbor buys a car, you throw a party. Because as though you bought a car, it's your car. You are so happy. But everybody pretends like that. Everybody pretends as though they are happy. Deep down, they think, how can this fellow get it? Yurglama. This fellow, how can he get it? But outside there is a pretense. Are you able to follow? That is more a social behavior. Internally, what is happening? Upanishad is not worried about your social behavior. It is worrying about what is happening inside of you. So when you say everything is mine, there is a very genuine expansion. So anybody getting anything is like you getting it. Otherwise you always feel that person is getting that person. Why am I not? Why am I not getting? Are you able to follow? That is first question.
So it is not answered yet.
Second question.
No, first question is not answered yet. I asked, by giving up I and mine in mantra 1, if circle of identification is increased, then by giving up doership in mantra 2, what happens?
That is the next. In mantra 2, when you give up doership, what happens? What happens when you drop doership? What is doership? What is doership? The burden. Carrying the burden. What is doership? Carrying the luggage on your head? In the train. Correct. What is doership? Carrying the luggage on your head in the train. So what is dropping doership? What is dropping doership? What is dropping doership?
Not feeling the burden.
What is dropping now? What is dropping the luggage? What is the luggage? Doership is the ego. Doership, ego. What is that? I can't hear. Napa? Result oriented. What is the burden? What is the burden that this person is trying to drop? What is the burden? Multiple choice questions, Madhuri, isn't it? If not this answer, that if not this, if not this, if not this, if not this. What is the doership? I am doing this, I am responsible for this. It's mine. Correct. Indispensability. Are you able to follow? Indispensability. In doership, what do you drop? You drop the notion of indispensability. If I am not there, nothing will happen. Everything will continue as it is. That is dropping doership. Again I repeat, what is dropping doership? Indispensability. Doer always wants to feel Needed, correct. Now, illana enna agum? If I am not there, what will happen? That is kartrutva. So, are you able to follow? So, what are you dropping? Indispensability. The notion that if I am not there, it will collapse. If I am not there, it will collapse. What knowledge helps you to drop it? All was existing before me. All will continue to exist after me. Even as I am existing, I don't know what is supporting. So where is this indispensability coming from? If I am not there, everything will collapse. Nothing will collapse. Isn't it? So what is the burden that you are dropping? Indispensability is the burden. Are you able to follow? Indispensability is the... And what is indispensability? I have to go, sir. I have to go. I have to go. Why? If I am not there? If I am not there? Things on. If I am not there, it will collapse. That is kartrutva. Opposite of that is what? It will continue. And don't say, oh, it will continue better without you. Again, that is same kartrutva is talking there also. That is again the same kartrutva talking. Kartrutva knows how to outsmart you. It knows how to outsmart you. And you will talk like this, and you will also actually start thinking you are being very, very philosophical. You will start thinking all this, and you will also think you are being very philosophical. The truth is, kartrutva is taking different shades. If I am not there, what will happen? Whatever was happening when I am not here, there was a time I wasn't there. What happened? There was a time I wasn't there. What happened? I wasn't there. My father lived, my mother lived. Nothing happened. I will not be there. What will happen? Everything will go on. Why? Because there is a master plan that is taking care of everything. There is something that is taking care of everything. So, kartrutva, dropping the doership, is dropping the indispensability. Understand it like that, it becomes easy. You have your duties to perform. You should not carry the notion of indispensability. From where did duty come? You should ask that question. Duties are there, duties are there, duties are there. Where did duty come? Where did duty come in the first place? Because you took. Because you took. You didn't create, you received, you took. That's why it's called rina. You are indebted. It is indebtedness that creates duties. Since you have taken, you become indebted. So becoming indebted, you have no choice. That's why they say at birth itself we are indebted. Vedas takes it to that height. That's why they say Deva Yajna for Deva Rina. Pitru Yajna for Pitru Rina. Manushya Yajna for Manushya Rina. Means you have taken from them, say thank you to them. You have taken from them, say thank you. So you take from 5, you have to say thank you to that 5. That's why they say Rishi Rina I am doing. It's Rishi Rina. Rina means I am indebted. Are you okay? Yes.
Second question.
One second. The same thought? Yeah.
Do you drop indispensability because you understand it's cooperative effort and not an individual effort?
Yeah.
It's not a different version of the same thing you said.
Yes. You understand, indispensability is an exaggerated notion I give to my presence. What is indispensability? An exaggerated, magnified notion to my presence I give. So dropping that is what? Everybody is doing everything equally. Therefore, it is foolish for me to believe that I am slightly above. So, indispensability comes from where? When I give an exaggerated notion to my presence. All problems is because of this exaggerated notion. Husband will come and say, sir, wife I am not doing, but you should accept that I am doing slightly more than them, no? You go to the wife says the same thing. The children say, everybody believes that they are doing something slightly more than others. That is indispensable. It comes from that notion. You follow? Method to avoid that is, one of the method to avoid that is cooperative endeavor. One of the methods to avoid indispensability is cooperative endeavor. Teamwork. Work as a team. Everybody moving in different directions. Work as a team. Are you okay? Yes. Second question.
So what does performing actions transform mean in mantra 2?
Say that again loudly.
What does performing actions transformed mean in mantra 2?
Actions. Say that again. I didn't understand.
Performing actions transformed. You use these 3 words.
You will be a transformed person. Actions will continue. From doer, if you become an actor, actions will continue. But there is an inner transformation. What is the inner transformation that has happened? From the doer, you have understood that you are an actor. Actor means what? Role, script, time, all involved, isn't it? Role means what? It is defined, you know. We don't know. Role means what? Actor means role. Role means what all goes into a role. First thing is a script. Script means what you should do, what you should not do. Dharma Shastras have clearly explained that. What you should do, so that is already the script is given. Second, time. The time is left to your discretion. But at least understand you have to live. You have to leave. Vidura in Mahabharata climax. Vidura comes and asks Dhritarashtra. Aren't you ashamed? He asked. Vidura comes and asks Dhritarashtra this question. How are you? Just ask. Innocuously he asks, how are you? Dhritarashtra says, I am very happy, well taken care of. My brother's sons also are taking very good care of me. And then Vidura asks, aren't you ashamed? Aren't you ashamed? Can't you let go? Can't you let go? That evening, all 4 goes to the forest. Who are the 4? Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Vidura, Kunti. All 4 goes that evening. Saying, when are you going to... It's almost like saying in local language, Tamil, yaar support potalo, will you go and sit there? He is asking that. He asked him that. How much hatred you had. How much you planned for their destruction. Don't you feel anything? Dhritarashtra was like shocked. He said, Vidura, why are you talking like that? Because the thought of leaving doesn't come at all to you. You are going on. You are going on and on and on receiving. When are you going to stop that? When are you going to stop that? How to stop? Start saying. The moment you start saying thank you, you stop receiving. You stop receiving the moment you start saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Are you okay? This is the second thing.
Last question. So you said there are 2 parts. One is dropping the doership and second part is dropping the I-ness and mindness. So after you use the word it is one level of interpretation, I am even more confused. Because the question is the two parts, dropping the doership and dropping the I-ness and minus, are they sequential or two sides to the same coin?
It is two sides to the same coin. You cannot practice both. You practice one, you get the benefit of both. Again I repeat, you cannot practice both. You can practice one, you can practice. Either you can practice it in relation to doership, or you can practice in relation to I and mind. Are you able to follow? Benefits is whatsoever one you practice, the benefit you get is same. What is the benefit? The benefit of nididhyasana moksha. So, I and mind is one method that you can practice. Dropping the doership is another method you can practice. Is it sequential? Means, where do I start? Do I start with the doership and then go to I and mind dropping? You don't go sequentially like that. Of the two, choose one and stick to that. Of the two, start with one. That freedom you have. Are you able to follow?
Because first you said one path, two stages. So even then it is
in Isavasya it was not said. In Isavasya I didn't say that. Bhagavad Gita, it will be said. Isavasya it is not said. In Bhagavad Gita, I was very careful in, if at all, one thing that I am very careful from yesterday or day before yesterday is to avoid the Gita talk and come to the Upanishad. It is in Gita, it is not here. It's different. It's different here. That's why it's called an Upanishad. Otherwise, how do we say Upanishad is a higher literature than Bhagavad Gita? Are you able to understand? Upanishad is a higher literature than Bhagavad Gita. Why it is higher? He takes it to the higher level of saying how all leads to the same thing. So, in Isavasya it will not be said as sequential. Isavasya says there are two paths. Dropping I and mind, start. No, I can't start. Then you have no choice but to drop doership. So you have only two. What? You can say, you can drop I and mind, you can drop doership. Of the two, choose one. Are you able to follow? Of the two, choose one. If not that you do this, first you drop doership and then you say, I will drop I and mind. அதெல்லாம் வரவே வராது. அதெல்லாம் கிடையவே கிடையாது. That's why I said from the beginning it is slightly, we are going to take a different approach, and at the end of this retreat you will go back more confused. You should get more confused. Oh, that's what Upanishad is saying what to do now. Are you okay?
So only in Bhagavad Gita it is sequential.
Yes.
In Upanishad
they are two. Choose one. Having chosen one, stick to it. Don't worry about the sequence, what will take you where and all that, don't worry. Because both leads to the same goal. Prasad.
Same lines, so two paths. According to their Swabhava, they take all that is there.
Two lifestyles.
Okay.
Yes. Use the word lifestyle. Don't use the word path. Use the word lifestyle. Use the word lifestyle.
You are telling that both will reach the goal at the same speed and same time.
Yes.
Because my understanding is that contemplative type would have more advantage.
Yes.
On an advantage.
Yes.
That would be a faster route for that person.
Correct.
Compared to
Correct. Upanishad says both will take at the same speed. And why? Because, see, when you are active, the contemplative nature is functioning. When you are active, contemplative nature is functioning. Action is a tool to become contemplative. That's why we say don't be idle, keep doing something. Because when you do, action brings a focus. So by only action makes you contemplative by. There is a beautiful inbuilt thing in action. By default you will be contemplating. Only when you stop action, mind is running all over. How can you contemplate? Are you able to follow?
So it's a must for the contemplative also to
Yes.
keep acting.
Yes. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krit. You cannot be inactive. You cannot be in action. How can you not be in action? You follow? Prasad. Bharat.
Sir, you just mentioned that in Bhagavad Gita you are taking this path.
Yes.
The lifestyle.
Yes.
In this you are saying they are distinct.
Yes.
But please correct me.
Yeah.
In chapter 2 also.
Yes.
I don't know, sorry.
Yeah.
But when Arjuna asks Krishna,
Yes.
tell me which path.
Yes.
I am now confused.
Yes.
Whether I should go to the path of this.
Correct.
Very clearly he indicates there are two paths.
Yes.
One meant for the contemplator.
Correct.
And one meant for the actor.
Yes.
So how is it that you are now saying that in Bhagavad Gita it is a path which has got two stages?
Because in Bhagavad Gita the words that he uses gives that implication. Again I repeat, in 3rd chapter Arjuna asks this question. You have glorified knowledge so much, and then you are asking me to do action, and that too Ghora karma. What is Ghora karma here?
Killing his own king.
He said, you have fought Krishna. Have you ever fought with your guru? Do you ever have to kill your guru? Have you ever encountered that situation in your life where you have to kill your guru? What is Ghora karma there? Fighting is not the Ghora karma there. What is Ghora in it? Pujaha varisudana. They are worthy of worship. Those who are worthy of worship, I have to kill. That is Ghora karma. Battlefield is not Ghora karma. That's why Krishna tells Arjuna, Klaibyamma smagam of Partha. Klaibyamma smagam of Partha. Bindu poite, he said. How did you turn into a coward? Arjuna gets very irritated and tells Krishna, what? What are you telling me? I am a coward. The situation that I am encountering, you don't know what it is. You have killed only the Rakshasas and demons. You have also killed. But whom did you kill? The Rakshasas and demons. Now who should I kill? The Guru standing there in front. How can you do that? This Ghora karma, better to run away from this rather than doing this Ghora karma. Situation is very different there. The background is very different. The situation is very different. Therefore, he says, do your actions, because this is blah blah blah. I'm not going to Bhagavad Gita introduction now. Then it will become like Bhagavad Gita introduction. We are not going into that. And then as he describing the glory of it, finally he says, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha, all that. Arjuna misunderstood. What is the misunderstanding? He thought Krishna is praising Sankhya, which is a Vedic word for sannyasa. He said it is Sankhya. He thought he is praising Sankhya and demeaning actions. Why? Vedavada Rataha, verses 42, 43, 44. He called all of them, he quotes Upanishads and says, he demolished all of them. And then saying, do this. Arjuna asked this question, why are you asking me to do this? For which, Krishna says, in the Gurukula, didn't they teach you Isavasyopaniṣad? Because you went to Gurukula, no? Arjuna, didn't they teach you Isavasya in the Gurukula? That Isavasya taught you, no? What? Asmin loke dvivida nishta. Asmin loke dvivida nishta. Haven't they taught you there? Jnana yogena sankyanam karma yogena yoginam. If you are of that person, take to this path. If you are of this person, take to this path. Haven't they taught you there? What is your swabhava? What is your swabhava? This is your swabhava. Therefore, what you got to do? You got to do this only. Here, Arjuna wants to change the swabhava. Change into doing something because of the misunderstanding that it is superior. You follow now? There, when he is saying it as do karma first. What he means by karma there, that we don't ask. I also didn't say that. What is meant by karma there? There are two types of karmas. So in Sanskrit it is called sakama karma and nishkama karma. Actions driven by desire, actions driven not by desire. How can you have an action that is not driven by a desire? At that level itself, karma yoga becomes. At the very word nishkama karma itself, the entire edifice of karma yoga is so shaky, isn't it? So shaky. When he says desire means, it's not that he's not talking about desire to do the action. He's not talking about something deeper than that. What is that deeper thing? Kartrutva. Now in the battlefield, at that agitated state, he is not ready for that. Poor Krishna, he never had a chance to do a retreat. You have to sympathize with Krishna. Poor man, he never had a chance to do a retreat. So all the time he is talking in a crisis. In a crisis he is coming. Here there is no crisis. Because there is no crisis here, we are able to see the difference and look at it so differently. So there he is coming from a different angle. Here we are going from a different. There is no conflict at all. That is why Krishna, whenever he has to talk the reality, he says, take to this path. Take to this path. Because this is the Upanishadic guided path. This is the Upanishadic guided path. What? Performing actions. In a common sense way, Grihastha lifestyle. In a common sense way, we call it as Grihastha lifestyle. Is it okay, Bharat? There Arjuna's dilemma was what we call as Dharma Sankata. What is Dharma Sankata? If a choice has to be made between two good, you don't know what to choose. If there is a choice between bad and bad, isn't it? Should I drink or should I take drugs? Huh? What is the answer? What is the answer? Between two bad, there is no problem at all. There is no problem there. Between bad and good, again no problem. Where you have a real dilemma in life, both are good and you don't know what to do. That is Dharma Sankata. Krishna was always facing people who are having Dharma Sankata. Upanishadic Rishi doesn't get into that situation at all. Because he never comes down. Only if you come down, you have to face all that. But that Upanishadic Rishi never comes down itself. He'll be sitting somewhere, you come. I am not going to. Everybody follow? You had something, no, Alpana? Yes, sir.
Yes. So you've been mentioning that there are two distinct paths.
Yes. Two distinct lifestyles.
Two distinct lifestyles.
Yes.
But you just now mentioned that when you do action, you become contemplative, and even for the contemplative, action is recommended. So is there a contradiction?
No, there is no contradiction, because you see one person, it is how you are observing the other. Imagine you are observing two people and talking. Imagine that situation. There is a person who is running around, and here is a person who is not that running around. Imagine there are two. Now, how do you address the two? This is how you will address. You follow what I am saying? This is how you have to address. If there is only one running around a person, it's so easy. Upanishad straight away will start, Kurvanneveha karmani. No problem there. If it is only that person there, again it is very easy. What? Isavasyopaniṣad sarvam, finished. When both come together, what to do? And always they come together only. Always they come together only. Are you able to follow? Yes. I am telling you, it is not two different separate individuals. In the same individual, they come with the split. Understand that. It is synthesizing the individual. Remember that. It is not talking about two different individuals. It is synthesizing the split in a individual. That's Upanishad. Are you able to understand now? It's not like two different, it's not like one person is coming like this, another person coming like this. In one human being there are these two. In one human being there are these two. Upanishad says, all human beings are a combination of active and contemplative. Predominance differs. Predominance differs. That's all. Because of the predominance, you see a particular behavior. When you see that particular behavior, the Upanishad is recommending this lifestyle. They see a behavior, and looking at the behavior, it is recommending a lifestyle. But it is not two separate individuals there. In a single person, both are present. That's where the mishram is the problem of life. Mixture is the problem of life. If it is only black and white, if it is black and white, there is no problem. Rajavir. This or that na prachana illa. Yes or no na problem illa. Yes or no na, that's a complication there. Are you able to follow? It's not two separate individuals. In one individual, there is a split. What is a split? Active and contemplative. So what is the lifestyle? Predominantly what you are. Predominantly what you are. And how will I know predominantly what I am? That's very simple. That's very simple. Can you sit? Can you sit? I cannot sit. Then?
Go to the second lifestyle.
Then the other lifestyle.
What if I can sit sometimes and want to be active at other times?
Then you are predominantly an active lifestyle. Then you predominantly have to live the active lifestyle. You can't mix match both.
Your caution, sir?
You can't mix match. It's a predominantly active lifestyle. Because whatever contemplative portion you have, that will be supported while you are doing action. That is why concentration, background contemplation is easier while you are acting. Background contemplation is easier when you are acting. When you are not doing anything, only it becomes a problem. They know the human nature so much that they are saying it very clearly. Are you able to follow? Yes. Therefore, what do? Do actions. In the background? In the background, contemplation happens. Do that lifestyle. Don't think that if I sit more, I can contemplate more. Don't do that equation. Because if you start thinking if I sit more, I can contemplate more, you are making a mistake. What will happen? If you sit more, you will end up getting more frustrated, agitated. Therefore, do action. So, let contemplation be integrated with action. Or, let action be integrated with contemplation. It's a synthesis now. We talk as though there are two separate individuals. We started like that. Now we are coming to understand what? In an individual it has to be synthesized. Some can be active and contemplation can happen in the background. For some it is contemplation and action background. Action becomes background to that person. What is that action? Whatever be that action. You follow now? Did I help you?
Yes, so ochre robe accountant
Yes.
is possible.
Yes. Yes, it is possible. So you don't have to wear an ochre robe and create a segregation that you simply say, I am an accountant. Robe is not going to make any difference. You will follow? Upanishad says, if you are an accountant, be an accountant. Why do you have to say that? Why do you have to pretend that by wearing an ochre robe you are a detached accountant? Why do you have to do that? Wherever you are, be an accountant. Why by wearing this you have to pretend or tell yourself that you are a detached accountant? Anyway, that's what you are doing. Might as well do it. That's how it simplifies life so much. We are the one who complicated it. It simplified it. Are you able to follow? So, if you are an accountant, simply say, I am an accountant. If you are a teacher, simply say, I am a teacher. If I am a dancer, simply say, I am a dancer. That's all. You follow? Very carefully I am trying to segregate the two thought process. It's a very interesting segregation. You follow? Anything else? One last one. Yes, Anshu.
It's clarified, but just one.
Mostly it is clarified, no, then leave it.
So when we say Veda Purva and Veda Anta, so Veda Purva is the karma,
Yes.
which is the action which we say will cleanse you.
Yes.
Pachitta Shuddhi.
Yes.
Would it take you to the liberation? Because then you have to go for Vedanta, which is the jnana.
Yes. Correct. What is the question now? You are saying, you are making a statement. I am trying to understand what is the question.
So still it seems sequential.
Still it seems sequential. Okay. Still it seems sequential. Correct. We will reconcile it again. That's all. We will reconcile it all over again tomorrow. Anything else? Oh, sorry. I missed you completely. Sorry. Extremely sorry.
This morning we
Yeah.
discussed that follow in the second mantra,
Yes.
follow the lifestyle of karma and upasana.
Yes.
So my understanding, upasana you said have a prasada buddhi.
Yes.
So my understanding of karma from our Bhaja Govindam session is that do your duty,
Yes.
don't expect the result.
Yes.
Whatever you get is a blessing.
Correct.
So now how do I differentiate between karma yoga versus upasana?
Yes. Karma Yoga talks about sincerity in action. Karma Yoga always talks about sincerity and dedication and consistency in action. So understand karma as sincerity, dedication, consistency. That is Karma Yoga. That is karma. What is upasana? The mental state. While doing all this, you can be in a peaceful state or you can be in a disturbed state. So, karma is about these things. Upasana is about the attitude with which you do the action. Bhakti is the attitude with which you do the action. What is the attitude? While doing, one attitude. In relation to the result, another attitude. While doing, one attitude. While doing, arpana buddhi. While doing, it is arpana, offering. In relation to the result, prasada buddhi. In relation to the result, it's always a blessings. Where comes it is, where the benefit comes is, the notion of result as success and failure goes out. That's the essence there. Always remember that. Are you able to follow? Knowing something, calling something as successful or calling something as failure goes out. Because there's no such thing as success or failure. For all are prasad. So one attitude while doing the action, another attitude in relation to the result of the action. Then there is a third dimension. There is a third dimension, which we generally don't talk about, but let us introduce that also. The third dimension. What is the third dimension? Whatsoever result is gotten, it is immediately segregated and given away. So that night you go to sleep, 0. That's a lifestyle. You take, you have, whatsoever has come to you, what do? That evening you distribute. That's what the Shastra calls as the life of a Brahmana. That night, that person has to go to sleep with empty pockets. In nature, everything is living like that. No. Everything in nature is going to sleep with empty pocket. Next morning, it is ready to hunt and get. It is not looking for any pension plan, isn't it? It's not worried about all that. No. Are you able to follow? The third dimension of bhakti upasana is no hoarding. No hoarding the result. Distributing the result to their rightful owners. Hoarding is depriving them of their rights. So when I am giving, I am not doing any favor to anybody. I am giving that which belongs to them. Are you able to follow? The third dimension. So, one is arpana buddhi, the second is prasada buddhi, the third dimension is dhanam. That's why we don't use the word dhanam as in giving, we use the word as offering. Prasada buddhi, arpana buddhi, prasada buddhi, dakshina. Dhanam soladingo, dakshina. That's why we call it as dakshina. Beautiful is that word. அது கொடுக்கும்போது எப்படி கொடுக்குறோம்? நான் மாமா. When you give dakshina, you say, not mine and give. Even today the priest says, no. You give him that and then you have to say, na mama. It means what? The third. Because the result, you are so convinced that it is yours. You are not able to understand it is collective. It has come to you because you are more responsible, it has come to you. Thinking that you will equally distribute it rightly, it comes to you. If you are not fulfilling that responsibility, what will happen? What will happen? That responsibility will go to somebody else. Okay, what will happen to you? Frightening it is. Naraka. Naraka, he says. Frightening it is. Naraka, because you have been stealing. So, bhakti na moodha. What is bhakti now? That's why we say, kadalla vechigve kudadu thiripi kuttulnu we say. We should not keep it, just square it up at the end of the day and go to sleep with empty pockets. That's the life. But what will happen tomorrow? What will I do? You have your hands and legs. Tomorrow get up, you work. The work will reward. Work is going to reward. No work is going to go without reward. You work, the reward comes. Even then you don't keep it. So what do? So Upasana has 3. The third dimension to Upasana. What is the third dimension to Upasana? Arpana, Arpana Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi, Dakshina Bhavana. You don't say Dakshina Buddhi, you say Dakshina Bhavana it is. You offer. That is why, conclude with this. Only in this culture, the giver is standing and the receiver is sitting. Actually, it should be the reverse, no? Isn't it? How the culture is. When you give dakshina, how we give? We bend. By taking it from me, I am so grateful that the person is taking. And although we are bending. Actually, it should be the reverse, isn't it? The person who is receiving should bend and you should stand erect. Culture says, no, you bend. Kartrutva will not allow you to bend. That I am the doer, result is mine, this fruit is mine, will not allow you to bend. Is it reconciled now? Huh?